Good evening, good evening, good evening. We are just everyday people here doing everyday things here at the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is the Friday Eve extravaganza. It is the day that everybody looks forward to. It is the time that everybody wants to spend with friends and family watching their two favorite hosts on Friday Eve. At some point, we're going to get to the point where we do the thing. And then the thing gets done, and then we did some things, and then we get into the show opening. So why not do it now? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's gonna be people tomorrow morning getting to work. They're gonna be at the Keurig. They're gonna be at the coffee maker. At the table, somebody brought in some Krispy Kremes. So the fat guy at the office, that's normally me, is gonna be on his eighth donut by the time everybody just gets there. Everybody gets in the room and a new guy comes in. He says, I know that I like that thing y'all do every morning after y'all watch that show. He's like, but it reminds me of something I see in wrestling, that LA Knight guy when he points to three different spots. I was like, it's kind of like that, but it's not really like that because it's ours. He's like, can you do it for me one time without everybody else saying and joining in? Because I like it the way you do it. I was like, all right, cool, man. So I said, hold on. It's the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah, baby. And that's how you start your Thursday Night Throwdown. I like how you stuck and commit to the bit, my friend. It's not official until after that. Yes, sir. All right, so what we got today? Today we got a little basketball. We got a little football talk. We got a little bit of baseball. And we got, I see something that says, what the hell? So I'm gonna let you explain that one. What the hell? But with that being said, I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. We are here to entertain you for this Thursday night throwdown. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass it on over to the big guy, KG, and let him take it away.
Well, thank you for that rousing introduction, Midnight Rider. Man, as he said, welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown, Friday Eve, getting you ready, all gussied up. For Friday, we here to make you shout, and glory be to the one who knows what the funk's about, y'all.
Here we go.
First and foremost, most important question before every show. Midnight Rider, how you feeling?
Yo, I'm good, man. Good day. Actually had a good day yesterday. I gotta give a shout out to Jack Carr and One Car Productions. The 100th episode of In the Passenger Seat aired last night. There was a bunch of irony in the episode because it was number 100. The guy he picked is Ken Lucas, who's now the head coach at Pilati, but he used to be at Archbishop Curl. He played at Archbishop Curl. He coached at Archbishop Curl. So when he heard my name, the non-Midnight Rider part of the name, he was like, "Oh, I know who you are." I was like, "Yeah," and because he was one of my dad's favorite players and one of my dad's favorite people. So we had that conversation a little bit before the show. So if you watch the show, yo, it was just like talking to a buddy, man. Like, I mean, I've known him most of my life, so the conversation was just easy. So I want to thank Jack for that, just that opportunity. That was cool. He didn't have to do it, but we kind of started that thing, and now he's running with it. So congratulations to him. Other thing, man, just got to see another day, man. Got to see another one. Hopefully, I can put my feet in the ground and see the next one.
Anytime you can wake up and you 6 feet above ground instead of 6 feet beneath it, it's a blessing, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this thing kicked off and get it done right. We got some NBA moves. The biggest news out of all these moves, James Harden, Cleveland Cavaliers agreed a 3-year, $97 million contract. It'll pretty much keep him in Cleveland through 29-30 season. And he has a trade kicker, a player option for 28-29. And he will top $500 million in lifetime earnings by the end of his contract. That's $500 million. He becoming the 8th player in the NBA to reach that figure on the current deal, joining LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, and Joel Embiid. So pretty much this is going to take him through his 39-40 season.
Say that one more time.
Age of 39-40 season.
Oh, I was like, what? 39? Wait a second, hold on. This guy trying to take him to win?
That came out wrong.
3-year contract. How we get to 39 and 40? 45, 47. Sorry.
What do you think about it?
I think it was their only play. I mean, they missed out on everything else. He wasn't going anywhere. He was just trying to get more money, like they do in the NBA. I wish some teams would tell that player if they don't accept the player option. I would love to see teams just move on from a player, but a lot of teams don't do that because they're too worried about the repercussions or worried about moving off of that player and not being able to replace that player with the LKQ, like kind quality player.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and if I could be honest here, this is a safe space.
Oh nah, dog, you gotta lie to me, but you gotta lie to me. You only accept lies, brother.
If I'm gonna lie to you, oh my God, this is probably the greatest deal in the history of basketball. I don't know why they didn't make it sooner.
All right, now tell me the truth.
I don't understand spending $90 million of future capital on a former MVP, yes, but he's 36. He'll be 37 next week. I don't understand spending that type of bread.
I mean, that's
granted, it's James Harden, and I'm not taking anything away from Harden, but spending that type of bread for an older player does not make sense to me.
Right, but you didn't position yourself in a spot where you can move on from him.
True indeed, because they were waiting to see what LeBron did.
Well, even waiting to see what LeBron did. LeBron and Harden, to me, would have been redundancy. Like, you can't have, I mean, LeBron's a better clutch player, but you still having the same type of player, a guy that at this point in time in their career is better creating for other people than being the person or being the man. So that gives you, you'll have the same thing. You'll have the Spider-Man meme almost, just every time, at the jump ball.
It's funny you say that.
It used to be in there.
We don't have it anymore?
I don't think so. That's the only reason I said it. I didn't pull the clip.
We don't have it anymore. Damn it. God bless America. Okay. Other news in the NBA, the Wizards trade for Trey Mann, and they got a second rounder with him from the Clippers for Cam Whitmore. A lot of people are looking at this Wizards rotation, the roster, period, and they're saying this looks like a contender in the East. Like that, they were talking maybe 6 or 7. They're talking top 4 now. A lot of people that I've seen them, and they're not even in the DC area. They're talking. This is coming from California and Arizona and Texas. They like, yeah, I'm a little scared of the Wizards in the East.
When you open your Twitter, like, is there what brand of Twitter you got or X you got, bro? I haven't seen nobody. I just listened to my man Greg Feinberg on Grant and Danny. He didn't really say where. He said playoff team, and the comment he made was 6. I've been at 6 since the Anthony Davis deal. I haven't heard 4, but if you heard 4, I trust you, my man.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
That's a bold statement right there. Like, I thought
bold.
6. I thought 6 was being bold, but somebody saying top 4. Woo, Lord!
Now they picked up they got DeAndre Ayton, and I'm just going down no particular order. It's basically alphabetical order, but I'm going down the list.
I'm with you. I know what they have, but I just haven't seen. I mean, 4. That's heavy hitter territory. Because that means
if I'm not mistaken, they let Julian Reese walk too.
Yeah, Julian went to I forgot where he got moved to, but they just ended up cutting him because he had a two-way contract and they didn't have space on the roster. And then Cam Whitmore, um, he's getting bought out, and they're stretching his pay over three years. So he's a buyout person. So he's not even going to Cleveland because I think that's where he was sent to. I heard somebody make I think it may have been Feinberg, it may have been somebody else on the radio today. I was a college Cam Whitmore fan. Um, and then when I listened to this guy talk about him today, I was like, now I know why he never gonna make it. That's why his veins couldn't vein right because they said they called him a black hole. The basketball would go in, but it doesn't come out. Um, he doesn't play defense with any kind of try. He basically turns a turnstile. Yeah, they were dogging him in this whole in this thing I read. So just based off of that information alone, I see why the Wizards let him go. Plus, he'd have probably been the 11th or 12th man in that rotation, so that doesn't hurt. That's probably part of the reason because I heard comments today that that's part of the reason why like Russell just didn't want to be on the team. He wanted a better role, and the Wizards weren't really going to have the option for him to at least right away have a ready, consistent role, and that's part of why he didn't sign in Washington.
I'm gonna say something about this Washington squad. Very deep, very deep. You got 3 7-footers on this team. You got wings. Chris Middleton's back, so you got another shooter.
You think he's
this
gonna
is
play?
what I need, huh?
You think Middleton's gonna play?
Not. I think he'll play, but I think he's there for more veteran leadership. But I think he will play. But I don't. I give him 15 to 20 minutes a night. See how the legs hold up? 15 to 20 minutes. That's all he needs.
I'm asking that because, and I want to circle back to the fourth thing because I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I haven't heard it, but if they finish 4, you know what this city gonna be like if they finish in the top 4? It wouldn't even matter what they do in the first round. If they were in the top 4 teams and they lost that 4-5, say 4-2.
The city is going to be electric.
They would be, oh my gosh.
Pull my coat and follow me on this one. Go get you a church van, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get DeAndre Ayton, Anthony Davis, the Bonsa. Get Trae Young, grab Alex Saw, and throw in Bub Carrington for insurance. And this is what should have been done all summer long. They should have went from every open gym in DC. I'm talking, damn, I just had the daggone gym in my daggone head. Gym over in Southeast. Every outdoor court. You don't have the courts. You got the court at Berry Farm, but I don't think anybody's balling out there because of construction. So you take them up TikTok.
They still ball out there. They still ball out there.
You take them over Berry Farms. Take them up TikTok. Hell, take them on the base. Take them on Andrews. Take them on bowling to play. You take them around. Let them play. Then every time after you play, let them get some chicken wings and mumbo sauce, from different carryouts. Let the old heads over there that be out there on Bennett Road by Spingon. Let them talk to them a little bit. Let them go to Chuck Brown Day. Ingratiate them into the city, but let them know we ain't no punks around here. And I'm not even a Wizards fan. I'm a Wizards supporter, but let them know we ain't no punks around here. Y'all got to get nasty. Y'all get ready to carry the whole entire city on your shoulders along with the commanders right now. So you got to get nasty. You got to baptize them in the fire.
I think those young fellas have played enough ball this summer because they got a lot of the same pieces. And I think that creates great competition. Trust me, they've been in that gym. Whether it's over in Southeast or whether they're at Cap, well, they probably can't be at Cap One because of the construction. So they're probably at wherever. I think their practice facility is still the joint in Southeast. And if that's the case, they've been over there hooping. I've seen some videos of them hooping. So the one thing you ain't got to worry about them doing is hooping. Now, because they NBA players, I don't know exactly if you want them at some of these open runs that you're talking about.
But didn't everybody do that?
I'm just saying they may not want them there. They may not want them there.
I mean, I'm not saying go to the Drew League or the Kenner League. I mean, nah, that I don't want them in that.
No, I'm just saying they may not want them in some of these outdoor leagues. They may want them in their facility because you got to think about this. This is a very analytic-based front office, and what they do is they have a belief in their minds, and it's funny that they have this belief. They say is they can make a good shooter better. They can't make him great. They can make a bad shooter good. So they have this philosophy in place that they can. Your shot may not be the best. Like Bilal Coulibaly is probably the perfect example of this. And they slowly, gradually shaped his shot. I would love to see what he does this year. But I think, to be honest with you, if I'm the GM, and I love Bilal, called him the baby fundamentals. But I think he might be in the wrong spot for this team. Because I think he might be, he's not too old, but I think his contract-wise, he's going to be the space where they have to make a move on him. And I don't think they'll be willing to commit, like whatever his rookie extension is. I don't know if I do the rookie extension with him when I have Trey Johnson, when I have Will Riley, when I have these other guys that I think can produce and score for me, AJ. You know, when you have those guys, I just don't know if there's room in the end for Bilal Coulibaly. And I think you can make a move with him. Honestly, the one person, and I'm going to say this now, there's one guy that I'm curious to see who he's going to be this year, and that's Bub. I gave Bub a pass last year because he lost his pops right before the season started or right around the early part of the season. So I know that young man's mind may not have been completely into basketball. But I think the two people that are most likely to be traded on the Wizards are Bilal Coulibaly and Bub Carrington. You writing that down?
No. I'm listening to what you're saying. I was writing something else.
Oh, I mean, you can write it down. I mean, that's my belief.
But now, let me
ask you. It's not a magic guarantee, but that's my belief.
Let me ask you. You do know why I say go to the open runs, right? You heard the Gus Williams story, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we
like walked in at halftime in the flight suit, the all-white flight suit, took it off, scored 65, put the flight suit back on, and walked out the building at Coldfield House.
Right. I know you're talking about like the Kobe going to the joint in LA.
Yeah. And security was telling him we gotta leave. He's like, nah, game ain't over yet.
Yeah, I'm with you, dog. I know
Kobe
what you're saying. But you ain't gotta take all 10 jokers.
No. I just need the solid 5. I need the 5 softest.
Honestly, I'd already had Andre Ayton in my car once before because I was happening to get his black ass out of LA. So I apologize if I'm not getting him in the church van again. You know what I'm saying? I'm in no hurry.
No, I was, and I'm not calling it. Trey Young got to be the leader, so that I want him to keep them in check. But I need Ayton.
I think he will be.
Yeah, but I need Ayton to. I need him to beef up and be. He has the potential to be a 20-10 guy, but he's sitting at 10-10. Just you're not going to progress to 20-10 right now. Give me 15-10. This season, give me 15-10. Next season, we'll think about 20-10. But give me 15-10 this season.
Hold on. I need help here. All right, so maybe you can grab my coattail and follow me on this. But This guy that you're talking about, his name is DeAndre Ayton, right?
Yeah.
He did go to Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 pick.
I believe he was.
And you want to do what?
I need him to evolve. I need him to get to be a 15-10 player. That's what he needs to be, 15-10. And at least give me a block or two a game.
Okay.
I mean, he averaged 12 and 8 in LA last.
No. I'm DeAndre Ayton, right? I'm still trying to make sure I'm wrapping my head around this. You want him to be 15-10?
15-10.
Whew.
The cat averaged 18 and 11.
Hold on, I got you. I'm a when he does that, I want Kyler Murray to be 6'5".
So you saying he's not capable of it?
I've seen this movie. I saw it once playing. I'm good on him. I saw it in college. I didn't think he was worth the number 1 pick. There's no way, because I think that Arizona team,
Career average, 15.8, 10.1 rebounds. I'm just asking to play average.
Okay. I just didn't. Yeah, dog. I mean, I'm happy for him. I just don't remember seeing it. Maybe that was his early years and he padded his stats, but I don't remember that guy in LA.
Anthony checking in. What's happening, Anthony? He said DeAndre Ayton ain't that type of player. To be honest, I'm sorry to tell you, he wasn't that in college. I understand that, but you gotta unlock it. That's why we going around and we taking him to Chuck Brown Day. You know, if the Ibex is still open, we can go up there and we can go take him to the club at the Ibex. Go take him to the Black Hole, the Icebox, something. Let him party a little bit. You know, after he leave the what the fuck? What was that? Was that the DC tunnel over there off of Bladensburg Road?
So I'm gonna ask you this:
Taking the Halton Hill.
Do they call you or do you have the aquatic skills of a Jacques Cousteau? I'm just asking because the key to unlock his greatness is probably getting that thing that Will Smith told Martin to put that and his mama titties in it and throw it out in the ocean. I'm just saying, I just don't see it, man. I thought the kid had all the talent in the world. I think he's one of those guys that he likes the options that basketball gives him financially. I just don't think he has the love for the game to be and unlock that person. Now, if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong because it will help the team in my city become more relevant than it's ever been. Not ever, but than it's been in a long time. So okay. I will appreciate if he ever gives them that 15-10.
Well, and he said, that's what I'm saying. You're teaching the old dog new tricks. If he couldn't do that in college, what makes you think he's going to do that now? I mean, things happen, brother. Things happen.
You know, every now and then, Anthony and I are on the same page.
All right. Well, I'm not going to put that dream to rest. I'm just going to put it to the side.
I know we got our comeback Mount Rushmore, but before we do our comeback Mount Rushmore, I'm curious on this. Anthony, I want you to give me your Florida Marlins / Miami Marlins Mount Rushmore.
Ooh.
I'm curious. I think I know who mine would be, but I'm not a Miami fan. But I know who I would put in that mix. So I'm curious. And while we're doing the show, I'll break mine down. Actually, no, I'll be a guest. I'll put mine in the thing. I'll put it in the comments.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let's switch gears real quick. Going to the oblong ball, football. We got some injuries coming out of Ashburn. Allegretti, and I heard somebody, I don't even know who the cat was. Once I heard what he said about Allegretti, I was like, I can't listen to you, dog. He's like, Allegretti's not a center. He's a guard. Okay, great. But he can play center. He's fine. Oh, he's hurt, man. He shouldn't be hurt right now. And this, that, no. We already lost Laramie. Okay, you ready to scrap the season. I believe the soundbite that 980 used to use, hold on, don't panic. We know what we're doing. And that's that. But Allegretti is, I think he's day to day.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time to panic with the offensive line looking the way it is?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Because
So here's my thing. I think honestly, one or two things are gonna happen. They're gonna go get a center that's cut. That has a little bit more experience. I think also they may be, and this is, you'll remember this name. This Dublin kid might actually be better than we think. And he may evoke the memories of Chase Rouillet. Rouillet, he might evoke those. So I think there's the possibility that we might be sitting on a sleeper, and that fifth round center that becomes, a guy that, if he wasn't injured, he'd have been a 10-year center in this league. So I think that's part of the mix and the nature of this. God, I can't think of who my I think I spelled his name right. I'm trying to think of my fourth Marlin. But the funny part, and this is why I laugh, and Flying Brian, I blame you because you ruined listening to callers for me, because you said they messed up the show. And like, not really. And then I started listening more and more, and I was like, damn, Brian, right. So yeah. Like, there's certain people I just listen
to. I always love callers. Especially, I was telling BJ that the other day. I said, man, if I hit the trifecta on any given day, it was a good day. I was walking in the house, head held high, with a little swag in my walk, because I called into the Sports Fix, the John Thompson Show, and the Sports Reporters, and got through. I'm good. And then
somebody actually, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think this guy's name. I think his name was S Talk. Oh, I meant to text it to you. It was like S Talk Jones. It wasn't S Talk Jones. It was something else. But when he said S Talk, I was like, oh, he from that era. You know what I'm saying? When y'all had that little S Talk championship and everything. Can't think of.
Like, I want to get a hold of Scott Jackson sometimes. Like, yeah, Kevin from Indian Head. That's all I got to say.
He does the show in Richmond, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just hit him up on his show? I don't think it's Richmond. I think it's Norfolk. I
know it's deep in Virginia. But yeah, because I remember he went down to the Carolinas for a little bit too. But yeah, Kevin from Indie Head, 5-time S-Talk champion. Right here. Okay. I'm not waving at you. I'm just telling you 5 times.
I know you know. I know.
All right. No, I haven't seen those jerseys yet.
I saw the thing for it, but I haven't taken a look at them. That's like, that was on my to-do list. I was gonna do it when I got in, but I got comfortable and started watching. No, you don't have to say that now. Say that. So okay, when he does his, yeah, say that. Bad boy.
Take that. Bad boy, baby. But
yo, I be saying, all I'm saying, yo. No, I'm saying.
Back to camp news. We got just nicks and bruises of normal stuff. They got a game against who was it Saturday?
The
Damn, I can't
Lions.
remember.
They're in Detroit Saturday. I think it's a noon start. That's really gonna mess me up. So I think I'm gonna have to watch the replay. Like watch it on YouTube
Yeah,
or
the
watch it on
Lions in Detroit.
because I think I'm gonna be in the this week is gonna be crazy. If you're driving in the city, avoid downtown. Um, like don't think you're gonna get on 395 and take any exit inside the city once you get past the Union Station exit. I think everything else is gonna be blocked off. So don't book a tea time for East Potomac. I don't know if they still taking tea times or if they actually started to shut that down for this dumbass Trump rebuild that they want to do and try and make it a high flight, highfalutin course, which is stupid and all it takes. But I think it's maybe so he don't have to go to Mar-a-Lago as much. And he can play golf closer to home. But yeah, there goes my moment in politics. Um, so let's talk camp news, Commanders camp. The biggest talk right now is J5. Does he play? Does he not play? KG, your thoughts?
Yes, he needs to play at least 2 series, vanilla, but 2 series with the first team, and then get him out of there.
Okay. I think it's gonna be one, but okay.
See, I was telling Dario this, and he was like, "Why is Jaden not playing?" And I was like, "If we had 4 games, Jaden Daniels would play 1 series the first game, maybe the first to the second quarter in the second game. The third preseason game was always the dress rehearsal, so they went to the half at the least."
I object, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think part of the reason we got rid of the fourth game was because that used to be the template, but teams started getting away from that template of using the third going into halftime. I think teams started doing less and less. So I think that's part of the reason we got rid of the fourth. But the other part of the reason is um, they're still trying to make that journey to get us to the point where we can get 18 games and justify it.
Yeah, because I mean, it used to be 6 preseason games and 14 regular season games. They added 2, and then
See, there
what
you
was that?
go.
92. They
Yeah.
added the bye week.
So in the early 90s or the 90s was the bye week slash there was even a season where we had 2 bye weeks because they wanted to try that out. Now that's still in the back of their minds. So don't think that if we go to 18, there may not be a 2 bye week situation as part of the thing. I know if I'm the players and you want me to play 18 games, I need 2 weeks off.
My thought process when it came to preseason and the games, when you had 4 games, that fourth game was always for the guys that were on the fringe. That's where a guy
So
could make
now
a
they
name
got
for
the first.
himself and didn't have to
Yeah,
get cut.
yeah.
But
So
you
let me
got
ask you
3
this
games.
question.
Can you really evaluate talent in 3 games?
Yeah, because the way you play them, you got to think about it. But the reason teams now are doing the joint practices is because that way they can get their ones against the ones, and then and hopefully because I think they understand that if you start putting the lower level guys in there, that's when you're gonna get the shenanigans. That's when you're gonna get um Scott Steiner's son, taking somebody to Suplex City in the middle of a scrum. I don't know if you saw that. Um, but yeah, so I think teams realize that you can't put the guys that are trying to make a spot and they try to put it to the guys that they have buy-in. They know they're in this to get their work, so they ain't got to play Saturday in the preseason game. I think that's why this has gone this way. So now You figure you give them game 1 for 3 quarters, give them game 4 for 4 quarters. And right now, most teams are giving them game 2 for at least 2 to 3 quarters. So your second tier guys are getting all the work. And that's actually the smart way to do it because you're only as good as your second and third team anyway. Because you're going to have injuries. I mean, this all season has showed us. I mean, we've lost Tyler Biotish, he tore his ACL. Johnny Newton's got a pectoral injury. The kid in New Orleans, Jordan Tyson, he's out for 2 months because of his hamstring. I still don't understand what that kid was doing. I told you on draft day, I told you the whole time. I was like, if I'm this kid and when I get drafted, the first thing I'm getting me is a masseuse and somebody to help me stretch. Because he's had too many hamstring injuries. I would go, man, I'd have called Michael Johnson. I'd have called Green. I'd have called any old track athlete that I knew. Shoot, if he Canadian, I'd have called Donovan Bailey. It don't matter who it is. I would have called one of them old guys, the old track athletes, have him work with me stretching. You know what I'd have done? I'd be doing hot yoga.
You know who he could have called?
Yoga, regular yoga, hot yoga. I don't know if they got cold yoga, but if they do, I do cold yoga too. Like, this kid is messing up his money maker.
You know who he could have called?
Ghostbusters? No, Santana Moss.
No, he could have called Gary Clark. Because, Gary Clark had bad hamstrings.
I don't want him working with Gary Clark. Gary Clark's always pulled, and he played through it. I want preventive maintenance. I don't want that fight through it maintenance. Nah. No.
Well, Gary Clark had bad hamstrings. He used to have to stretch a certain way, and if it didn't feel right, he wasn't playing. But more times than not, he loosened up during the game and he'll burn you.
Yeah. Yeah, he and Trent Williams are probably the two stories I've heard the most of guys that, like, on Thursday, you like, I don't know how this dude gonna play. And then Sunday come and they running out the tunnel like nothing wrong with him. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the happy pills. I don't know.
Anthony said, I've been saying this to these player safety rules came from a good place, but it's causing more injuries than it's helping. Agreed. But here's why, if you notice why you're getting so many injuries. Camp is shorter. You don't get as many reps. You can't really do anything in mini camp or OTA. You're not really doing much in training camp, which used to be a month and a half. It's way shorter now. Then your preseason games, your live bullets are short. So you don't have time to condition your body. If you're not conditioning your body in the off season and then coming back to already in shape, you're screwed. You can't work yourself back into shape during mini camp, OTAs, and then training camp. You can't do that anymore because everything's compact and it's so condensed. You don't have as much time anymore.
I'm a op on the side of the devil's advocate. And I think it's not that. I think the thing is, and this is one of the things I've talked to nobody about, but it's one of my thoughts. I think because we have all these quote unquote trainers working with these guys in the off season and doing this stuff, I think we're getting injuries because the way these guys are training their bodies aren't giving them natural movements, or they're doing stuff and the stuff that they're doing isn't really helping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really patting your body, or like you're doing only what the trainer is, or the trainer's doing something that, hey, the head trainer here said, let's do this, and you're not doing the other stuff. So, like, listening to B Mitch the other day, B Mitch was like, yeah, the trainer said this, but he always had to get a power clean in. Like, he always did power cleans because he felt the power cleans helped him get his body ready for the season. And I think that's the portion that these guys aren't getting, is they're not getting that extra, all right, you know what, I got to do this. And whether it's cleans, whether it's squats. I mean, everybody does squats. So, like, I think there's other movements that guys used to do that aren't being taught now or aren't being used now. And I think that's why we're getting some of these injuries. Because guys don't play, basketball and other sports, and you're only training for football, you haven't built up some of the dexterity in your knee. You're doing the same movements and not other movements. Now, maybe that's the old coaching me, but I think you got to start letting these guys play other sports and let their bodies train differently. Like, you got to have that kid. He ran track, he played basketball, he played football. Like, those got to be the guys that's coming up now.
I love that you use the word dexterity. You don't get to use that often in conversation. That work right there, dexterity.
What was I? I was making a joke about. Oh, so at work, they have like this little candy bucket, and so I went through the bucket, right, and all I saw was right Twix. I ain't seen no left Twix. I only eat left Twix. I can't eat the right ones, dog. I was like, look, I don't know what y'all got going on in here. Y'all being a bunch of dexterous, because left Twix needs some representation. That's all I'm saying. Left Twix needs to be represented.
I can't argue with you.
I love those moments because you have that look like only this guy. Only his mind goes there.
Oh man. But we got a game on Saturday. Don't forget we got homework Saturday for Tuesday.
What's our homework Saturday?
We got to check out Cleveland Browns. We got to see what's going on with the quarterback competition between Watson and Shador Sanders. Because I'm pulling for Shador. You saying it's Watson. Even Maddie is saying the money is Watson. I understand where the money is at. I need to know who playing better. So
that's right. Hey, you know what? That's perfect because tomorrow I can listen to Carmen and Laman tomorrow. I love this. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Josh. Nephew. Good to see you, man. Thanks for checking in.
He said he always watches, man. I talked to him 2 weeks ago, maybe. Maybe it was this week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And we had a short conversation because he knows the rules now. He knows the content rules.
Josh, if you still there, man, trust and believe. 6 years and I still ain't got it down. Like I'll say something, man, you're not giving me nothing back, and he just like a bus driver tapping a sign right there, and the sign say content. I mean, I ain't got used to it yet, so but I understand where it comes from, and I have to dial myself back down to time. So, switching gears, little MLB. I know you had something there, Midnight Rider. Hit me off.
No, so we talked about it in the pre-show. I allowed you to get some content earlier. But we were talking about the kid from Seattle. Cade, he says Cade Anderson, right? Being called up to the major.
Yeah, Cade Anderson.
Yeah, so that's Seattle's top prospect for pitching. So I think that's a move for them to try to get a jolt.
This what you just gotta leave voice messages, man. Leaving voice messages on WhatsApp and just like he'll get to it when he get to it, but then you leave it there, you got it off your chest, and he may leave you on red until the show happens, and then he'll go back and listen to it.
Hey man, it's a method to my madness.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's always a method to my madness. So that's one move that was made. I think that's gonna be interesting. I think the Yankees are in an interesting spot now because everybody else is starting to you're starting to get contributions from some other guys. And I don't know how soon Judge is going to be back, but if you can get Judge in that lineup, that's going to be interesting. The Orioles. Last night, the Orioles had one of the craziest plays. Pete Alonso hits a ball down the line. it looks like a home run. Unfortunately, to the umpire, it didn't because the ball went over the foul pole, which is one of the hardest calls in baseball. And I don't know why. I mean, people go ballistic on that, but like the tough call because you can't exactly when you're 300 feet away as a home plate umpire or you're 200 feet away as the third base umpire. You can't see exactly when that ball crosses that plane of that foul pole. Even though in the replay it looked very fair to me, I can't argue on that one. I heard people today. I heard Danny and Grant say that they would have argued and gotten kicked out. I think that's definite. I think if you feel like you're on the wrong side of that call doesn't go by without you earning an ejection. And I think your owner or your GM will see the ejection and see the fine and just cut a check and send it into Major League Baseball on your behalf because you earned that one. But the O's right now are I think they're one game back in the third wild card spot. So they've weathered the storm and came back and they're still in it. And that's the beauty of this third wild card is it gives everybody hope. You know what I'm saying? It might be baseball version of the Marion Bray, up with hope, down with dope. It might be that version of it. I mean, they are getting something special out of this third wild card because teams that normally would probably sell now know all I need is a couple good weeks. I mean, look at the Red Sox. The Red Sox had a couple good weeks. They're back in the mix. You know, it's just one of those things. I mean, you know, the Nats were a couple weeks ago. They were what? Tied or a game back. Now they're 6 or 7 games back. This wild card thing fluctuates, and all it takes is somebody have a good 2 weeks. You have a good 2 weeks, you can find yourself like MC Hammer. They put me back in the mix. I forced that. I apologize, but I had to say it because I was on my mind.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm looking at the wild card standings, and again, spot on. Baltimore's a game and a half back, and they're 5 games under 500, game and a half back. Ahead of them are Cleveland, Texas, Toronto, Minnesota, Boston, and Minnesota. And that's in order, ascending up, I should say. The Nats are 7 games back, like you said, and they're 6 games under 500. They have Pittsburgh, Miami, St. Louis, Arizona, San Diego, Philly, and the Chicago Cubs ahead of them.
So I think the Nats have a spot coming up in their schedule. And I think they can get into a place where they get some teams on their level. And that's I keep telling you, man, they aren't top 5 elite good, but that 16 is in their fighting class. That's in their weight class, I should say. So I can see them making some noise and doing some things. And I don't know why ESPN is taking forever. Here we go, schedule.
So that's what ESPN
let's see what they got coming up. All right, so I love it. They gave me the whole schedule. So next up, so they finish up with Texas today. Tomorrow they're in Miami. They've got 3 in Miami. They got 4 in Colorado. 4. Never mind. Because they're like 12 and 30 in the division, and they've got 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 of their next, let's call it 14, are in the division. Then they get the Dodgers for 3. So that's 12 out of the next 16 or so. Then they get San Diego. Yeah, that's a tough road to hoe. I don't know about that one. Somebody might not want to order that backhoe for that job because that backhoe may go to waste. But they're in a tough spot. But I mean, you got to if you're a Nats fan, and even after these next couple of weeks, and you walk away disappointed or feeling like they did the wrong thing, then you're doing this wrong. Because they fought, they got themselves in a contention, they got close to it, and then they realized that we just don't have the horses. And I started this season saying Luis Garcia needed to be gone or traded, and he got traded, so we're good.
Maddie said, I think the Nats will end between 75 and 80 if things go well. And to me, that's a positive season. I agree with Maddie. What did I said 80?
Yeah, you said 80. You said 80. I looked at you crazy because I was giving you all the two Asian guys cleaning off the grounds crew from the major league. These guys are shitty. That's what I was saying. So yeah, the fact that they're even this point, that gives but you know what it does? It gives you hope because my guy that just came up that they got in the Mackenzie Gore trade, I'm gonna call him Albie Ortiz. It's like Albilet Ortiz is his real name. I'm gonna call him Albie because I can't say all that. But that kid's hit like 6 home runs since he's been up. So like they're getting some of the same production. The thing they're really missing is Wood. With Wood being out of the lineup, that's what hurts them right now. I don't think they're being hurt by the guys they traded away. I think they're making up for them in the aggregate. The problem is you don't have the trendsetter. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, like right now you got, when you show on TV, you got the Four Horsemen, but Ric Flair is not there. You know what I'm saying? If it's the Generation X, depending on what iteration it is, it's not Triple H walking out with them as they come out, or it's not Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're not getting the lead dog out of the group, and I think that's the thing that's hurting them more than the ancillary trades. The Foster Griffin trade, yeah, they made it. They should have made it because I see no way, shape, or form that guy's coming back here. And I think it's just one of those things that you just gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna do a song. I heard it. I knew where it was going. I'm gonna stop myself. No more song reference.
All right, you got it.
Now here's the guy.
All right, let's switch gears real quick. I put this in as what the hell because this is definitely what the hell movement. Buccaneers rookie linebacker Jack Pyburn has been granted a preliminary injunction to return to college football. On August 14th, Pyburn had 2 sacks versus the Jets in the NFL preseason game. On the 19th, a week later, he was granted preliminary injunction to return to college football. But it's not just him. Daquan Wright can go back to Ole Miss, as well as Xavier Harris, DQ Smith to South Carolina, and TJ Harden to SMU.
Boy, say it.
What are we doing
to say? Yes. Look. This is what's happened, and this is the. I don't think we thought that this was a thing, but now it's a thing, and it shouldn't be. First and foremost, I don't think the NCAA directly is involved in these transactions, in these moments, but there's a problem that these kids get the opportunity to do whatever, and then all of a sudden sue. And I said this before. This is in my thing. We got to stop letting these courts interject when we got rules in place. What's the point of having rules if I can just sue you and then you give me an injunction and I can play the season and now I don't deal with the rules? We are living in a lawless society. This makes absolutely no sense, dog. The dudes signed NFL contracts. They are the problem. This is the one thing. This is the caveat that everybody was talking about was going to be the problem when you start paying players, because now technically they are not amateurs. The amateurism thing has died. And now that gray line, because I'm gonna steal a line from a song. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm coming back to it. It's a thin line between love and hate, and it's a thin line right now between being a pro and an amateur. And that line is so thin that they can't see the difference between the two. Because that's the only way you can allow a dude that signed an NFL contract, played in NFL games, and then you're allowing him to go back. And guess what's going to happen? Because the injunction is going to last long enough so he can play the season. And then after that, we're going to have the trial. What's the point of having a trial then? What are we trying them for? What are we trying to resolve?
Maddie says college sports is officially broke, and the NCAA has lost all its ability to govern itself. And when they try, courts throw it out. Here's my thing. If I'm old, tell me I'm old. But I remember at a point in time that if you entered the draft, you lost your eligibility once you got drafted. Eligibility's out the door. Now, if you went to the draft and you did not get drafted, you could go back to school as long as you didn't sign with an agent. But if you signed an NFL contract, your eligibility was done.
Well, the NFL never had the option for you to go back to college. If you didn't get drafted, you had to be a UDFA. Only basketball was the one. In basketball, though, you couldn't stay in the basketball draft until the draft. You had to leave out before. That's the only way you could retain your eligibility. The problem is now we have become so litigious as a society that they are litigating every moment and every ounce out of this lemon. They're squeezing all of the juice out of this lemon that they can get. And now these jokers, personally, I don't know how I can try to go pro, fail at going pro, and say, "Oh, I want to go back to college." What kind of athlete are you?
Maddie said, "KG, we aren't old. We're just youthfully challenged." I like that.
What kind of athlete? Excuse me, with any kind of confidence and any kind of wherewithal, will say, "Oh, I'm gonna go play here," and then when you get there, you're like, "Oh, nah, this too tough. I can't do this."
One of them soft-hearted ones don't want to be an athlete.
Man, this is a whole different world.
Let me tell you something. This goes to any player. If you are, and I told my sons, I said, if you get to the point that you're playing basketball with your friends and they can't beat you, it's time for you to step up. You got to start playing with older kids. You start beating the older kids, and while you're the young kid, all right, come on, you're going to step up again. You got to keep stepping up, keep leveling up, because you got to keep testing yourself. If you feel like you made the NFL, and this cat Pyburn had 2 sacks in the NFL game, the NFL preseason game, in the NFL game, why the hell do you want to go back? Look.
Because they get paid better. That's why he's going back. You're getting paid better, dog. No, I'm dead serious. The difference is if you are a junior redshirt quarterback, if you're not 1 and you're not 2 in the upcoming draft, you take your happy butt to the next school and you pay for the highest bidder. That's what you do. You're going to see a whole bunch of 5-year quarterbacks. Why do you think Trinidad Chambliss fought to go back to Ole Miss? He wasn't trying to go back because he was trying to make memories. No. He wasn't going back to try to get a championship. He was going back for the skrilla.
No doubt. Now,
how that song go? For the love of money.
For the love of money.
Yeah, jazz it up, dog. Yo, these jokers out here, man, this is joint where they show Carson Beck saying, he actually says in the interview, like, yo, I took a pay cut to come to the NFL. Cats like him, the dude Mensa that went to Duke, now I forgot where he's at now. He got like $10 million to go from Duke to like Miami or somewhere.
Yeah, Miami, that's where he at.
The money's good. Carson Beck, I took a pay cut to come to the NFL. Cam Ward took a pay cut to come to the NFL.
Let me tell you
something. These guys, they ain't trying to leave. You know what they are? I got the perfect title for it. These jokers, these quarterbacks now, they Toys R Us kids because they don't want to grow up. Because if they did, they couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. They can't get the loot like they used to. Now you got to get, your 500,000 because you the third pick of the 5th round. When you was going to the highest bidder when you was a quarterback at a major university, you walked away with 3 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil.
This is my whole thing. There's a couple of sayings that old heads used to tell us when we were younger. If you scared, go to church. And if you ain't gonna piss with your leg up and you're gonna piss with your leg down, sit your puppy ass on the porch. Because we piss with our leg up over here.
I ain't never heard that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to upgrade my old heads.
Basically, stay your ass.
You're not a dog. Why are you pissing? Never mind. Let's hold up a story. Let's get to the clutch, man. I mean, let's get to the comebacks, man.
All right. Well, let's take a break, reset, and we'll be back with the Mount Rushmore of individual comebacks. I love to see what Midnight Rider has because I don't know. My list a little shaky, but I want to see what he got, and then I'll know if I'm in the right arena, I should say. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Thursday Night Throwdown. I am the Midnight Rider. He is the big guy, KG. And we are about to hit you with the Mount Rushmore of comeback players, individuals. I should say comebacks by individuals. I'll say it that way. Because Miss Purcell is my English teacher, and she told me better than this, and I don't want to disappoint her. Shout out to Elizabeth Purcell. Also in the mix of this, before I kick it over to KG. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to kick it over to KG. You can take it from here.
Appreciate that, Midnight Rider. As he said, this is the Mount Rushmore of individual comebacks.
Hold on. So, I know why I wanted to stop. So just for you, I'll give you an update on the Texans and the Raiders game. The Texans just scored a touchdown, and the running back Quintarius Marks scored a touchdown. And if you don't know why I'm telling you this, you know why I'm telling you this. Because you called him by his government, and I went off because I was like, the N-word name is Woody, or they call him Woody. So that's the only reason I brought that up.
Yeah, I called him by his government name.
I was like, man, they call that boy Woody. They call him Woody. His mama call him Woody. I'm gonna call him Woody. We're good. Mount Rushmore.
This is individual comeback. So this is, I had to get some stipulations because I had to make sure I was in the right ballpark. So, Midnight Rider, kick it off.
All right. So my number 4 is Roger Clemens. If you saw Roger Clemens at the end of his Boston/Toronto days, you thought it was done, it was over, and him going to Houston was a revelation. Because I didn't think he could pitch no more. I thought he was done. And out of nowhere, he came back and led Houston to the promised land between him and Carlos Beltran. They made him relevant again. So Roger Clemens is my fourth person on my Mount Rushmore.
All right. I think I went a different route. I think I understood the assignment, but I might have took it off a little bit. But
Okay.
I put down, honestly, I guess it's special to me. That's why I made this number 4. Mike Vick. After spending 2 years in jail and, on trumped up charges, and, he comes back. Andy Reid gives him a shot in Philly. And he had some memorable games in Philly. One that I can't stand to watch very often. If I need to feel an adrenaline rush, I watch the Monday Night Massacre. But Miracle at the Meadowlands too.
Right.
That's because of him and Deshaun Jackson and that defense. But he had some memorable moments to come back after serving 2 years in jail. So I had him on my list.
So my number 3, Michael Vick. My reasons behind it is because he had to reinvent himself to be a quarterback. I think he understood that he wasn't the electric Michael Vick anymore. He wasn't the guy that, he's going to drop back, dodge 3 people, 4 people, throw it off the wrong foot, across his body, and score touchdowns. I think he became a person that understood that sometimes within the system is the system. So that's why I got him at my 3rd in my comeback list.
Well, my 3rd, another near and dear to the heart. The first comeback, Michael Jordan. Comes back after 18-month layoff. You see flashes for those 17 games. What, 3rd game back, he drops 55 in the Garden.
Okay.
He had a game.
That comeback. Okay.
Yeah. He had a game winner.
Part 2, not part 3.
Yeah. He had a game winner in Atlanta during that stretch. He picked the Bulls up, gave them the shot in the arm they needed to get into the playoffs. So I got Michael Jordan as my number 2. I'm on number 3. I'm sorry.
Number 2 for me, Kurt Bartholomew Warner. Middle name doesn't count because I don't know if that's his real middle name or not. But Kurt Warner, at the end of his time with the Giants, you couldn't have told me that man would go to Arizona and be a good quarterback or be anything of substance to this world as far as quarterback play goes. Did Anthony leave his list? I don't see Anthony's Marlins and Mount Rushmore. All right.
He did not.
We might have to fire Anthony because he didn't understand the assignment. But go ahead. Finish your thing.
I love your number 2. Because Kurt Warner he reinvented himself. But you know what I said about Kurt Warner though? I think it was his final years with the Rams. He had a calcium deposit on his throwing hand on his thumb. And they operated and took it off. And I was like, okay. And he didn't have the zip on the ball. I was like, you should have never touched the calcium deposit. Should have just left it alone. But my number 2 is Muhammad Ali.
Ooh.
3 years in exile. Go ahead.
That's a great one. Just FYI, for everybody that watches the draft show that the Sideline Junkies do, that watched my top 5, I'm not saying mine, but let's say our top 5 running backs in this draft class. Just know Mike Washington out of Arkansas, Mike Washington Jr., just made another impressive run. I'm telling you right now, bruh, that dude's gonna be a thing. Now I don't and the problem for him, that's an ugly interception. That might be 6. I don't know if he can out. No, he can't out. Yep, he outran him. Is that R. Kelly's favorite Texans linebacker? No, it's the other guy. All right, never mind. I thought it was two, but it's not him. Where we at? I'm sorry, I drifted off watching the game and caught that.
Muhammad Ali. Out of 3
Oh,
years.
yeah. You know what, dog? That's actually better than I thought. I didn't even think of Ali because I didn't think. I guess he would be in our lifetime, but I didn't think about that. And there's one. I guess I gotta put him in my honorable mention. So I'll put him in my honorable mention. But you do your one, because I know what my one is. And if you watch this show, you probably know what my one is.
Well, no, you give me your one. The show go.
No, I'll let you. I'll concede my time to you for the one.
My one is probably one of the best comeback stories. I think, in my opinion, one of the best comeback stories of all time. Retiring at 28, take 10 years off, come back at 38, box your way up, become world heavyweight champion again at 45. George Foreman.
I kind of thought that was going to be your number one. He was my honorable mention. So that's cool. That's why I wanted you to go first, because I wanted to see where you went at one. I knew you weren't going in my lane, but I knew you was going to have a good number one. That's an awesome one. I like that. Me and my number one, during his downtime, we shared a great affinity for a purple and gold bag and a drink called Crown Royal. He was the number one pick for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time. He languished in the minors. He eventually turned his life around, found Christ. Eventually became an AL MVP. I think he was even a home run champion. But it's Josh Hamilton. Josh Hamilton is my number one comeback story, because this kid was left for dead. People didn't think he could get off of the drinking, the drugs. And whatever he found in that moment got him to this point, or to a point where it made sense for him. And then all of a sudden, everybody saw the natural ability of this guy. And I remember, I will never forget, I forgot what draft he was in, but that Sporting News, I remember reading the article on him, and he just always stayed in the back of my mind. I was like, yo, wherever he goes, I'm just going to follow him. So he goes to Tampa, he struggles, and I'm like, all right, whatever. All right, cool. And then I think it was also the Sporting News again, either Sporting News or Sports Illustrated. They came out with an article and they kind of detailed his sordid past and all of that stuff. And it was kind of like this thing where it was almost like it was a obituary, because I think they thought his career was going to be done and he was going to end up just never making it. And the fact that he came back, home run title, MVP, all that stuff, just a great story, man. Great story. One of my, I mean, he was one of my favorite players before this happened, and of course after, just because of the story of redemption. He's like a shoot. I mean, we want to go biblical. He's like a Jeremiah. You know, after seeing the ruins of Jerusalem, you know, he kind of walks out of the ashes and still becomes something. Well, if I'm gonna leave y'all with that, at the end of the show, we're gonna have to pass the collection plate around, and everybody that's in here viewing, you're gonna have to make a donation to the First Baptist Church of the Sideline Junkies. But I mean, it's like Jeremiah, and like somewhere in that point of his journey, you know, he understood that today is a gift. You know what I'm saying? Today is a present. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
I can agree with that. Honorable mentions?
Your one was my honorable mention. So I thought about George Foreman. I feel bad for putting him fifth, but I still like my top four a little bit better than him. So he would be 5. Trying to think of who else I can think of. Um, can't think of a tennis player that kind of fell off and came back. Can't think of a basketball outside of Jordan. What other basketball player can you think of that kind of had a fall in his career and you didn't think he'd get it back, and then all of a sudden came back and got it?
I wanted to go Magic Johnson
Because of the 92 and
because of the All-Star game and then the Olympics. And then even, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I told you this before. I wish he would have stayed on when he came back in 96. He came back at the end of the 96 season, and I think he took the Lakers to the second round of playoffs. If he would have hung on for the rest of that summer as a player, I always said he would have bridged the gap between the Showtime and the Lake Show. Because Kobe was coming in that summer. They signed Shaq. You still had Nick the Quick, but I just wanted him to hang on for one more season.
I'm glad he didn't, because I wouldn't want Magic to be to have to deal with having Eddie Jones on his team and dealing with his shortcomings in the playoffs.
Any way you could just punch Eddie Jones in the damn gut walking out the door in the dark.
I gotta, all right, nah, side note, that's post show. Post show, I got something for you.
Okay. Well, we at that point anyway. Let's go ahead and wrap that shit up, B. What you got?
My wrap up is not sports related. I don't know if you people have heard this guy's name. But some in this universe, there's a guy, they call him Pablo Pledge Escobar. He is a leader of fraternity at Penn State. This fraternity leader basically used the frat to become a drug ring. It was a cocaine ring in Penn State. And he actually made, this is the best part of it, is he made the pledges cut up, measure, and weigh the drugs. Now, when they said that, the only thing I could think about was New Jack City, where all the chicks make it in the room, cutting up the drugs. I was like, yo, this dude's wow. He on some different stuff. You mean to tell me he had pledges just like cutting up the, like, how do you even make that happen? Like, hey, I know you want to be Sigma Theta Chi, but the only way to do that is you got to cut up this cocaine and bag it up. Like, what? I'm catching charges to be in the front. So, yeah, that's my, shout out to Penn State. Shout out to whoever that frat was. But the funny thing about it, and this is the most movie moment. So, like, if you watch American Gangster, you knew that the crazy cousin was going to mess up the church's money. And of course he did by beating up the girlfriend, and the cops that was watching him saw it. So they had to arrest him because they saw him beating her. And then he ended up telling everybody. Translate that to going forward. In this scenario, some guy in the process, instead of using, I guess, his code name or whatever on his Venmo, he used his regular name on his Venmo. And that got tagged by the police. And that's how the whole operation fell apart. That's how they got caught. They used Snapchat and Cash App to make transactions and how they would deliver the drugs. But all it took was one. All it takes is one dummy. And there you have it. So that's my wrap it up from the non-sports division.
My wrap it up is this is the time of year that I actually hate, because you see a lot of young athletes passing away. Summer workouts. It's all it's all over social media. This one though, it breaks my heart out in California. Tustin Hill High School football star Will Leapart was shot and killed in Compton last Thursday. And they say he was shot and killed because of a hat he was wearing.
What?
Because of a hat he was wearing. Don't know what territory he was in. Don't know where he was at. But here's the thing. Say he was a standout cornerback and wide receiver for the Tustin Tillers and was beloved throughout the Orange County community. Here's the thing. The streets used to have a code. And all the codes seem to be gone, seem to be turned into the Wild Wild West because folks don't know how to stay on code, And this is a case of not staying on code because one thing the streets taught me is you never fuck with the kids that go to school. You never fuck with the athletes. You see them on the street, you direct their ass the hell away from you, away from the streets, because you got a future to make it out. We not going to taint your future. You're going to go do what you got to do and get the hell out.
It's amazing, man. That's crazy, man. And just so you know, also another side update, the Davis Mills is now in the game instead of CJ Stroud. So I mean, CJ Stroud only did the first drive. So put that in the back of your mind when you're trying to figure out what the Commanders are going to do this weekend with Jaden Daniels.
One drive out.
Put a pin in it and just save it for your memory breaks. That's all I'm gonna say. He got one scoring drive and he's gone. And then his second touchdown was the interception return. So here we go.
All right. So that's all the time we have for the night, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow you got Friday freestyle. Saturday you got
whoa. Not that. Tomorrow night we have the Friday night freestyle and we have the open mic invitation. Yeah, we want all poets, all writers. I don't think we can do musicians only because I don't know how we can recreate the music in the thing. But yeah, we want y'all to come out. You got some pieces you haven't done spoken word in a minute. Like, let your light shine. If you don't think you good, it's okay because it's a safe space. We just want people to get out there and try their talent. We're not judging you. Ain't no payments being made on how good or anything like that. We want to see what you can do. We want to give you the opportunity and the space because maybe you didn't feel comfortable going to Bus Boys and Poets. You didn't feel comfortable going to whatever other poetry spot it was. Well, we got a pillow. And you can sit your butt down comfortably in the seat that is or in the space that is what we got going on tomorrow. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care how you do it. We a safe space. We are a safe space poetry, baby. So yeah, tomorrow, 7:15, Sideline Junkies, freestyle, Friday night freestyle, poetry edition. And the worst case is you're gonna get a bunch of me and Miss Jackie. But if we get people to, tap in with us, we can get a whole bunch of other perspectives. And I hope that's what we get.
Are you doing a gridiron on Saturday morning or you ain't decided yet?
Man, I don't even know what the hell is going on. I need a tutor. I need somebody to like teach me how to read Braille because we started the season and we stopped the season and we started again. So like I would really if we do it, I would actually know I can't do it. Never mind. I'm not gonna be around. I just realized that. Yeah, Saturday I'm out. So
you did say that at the top of the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll have Saturday night WrestleManiacs, Saturday night, Sunday, final Sunday of no Sunday Rise will be back on the 30th. 53-man roster. Like, get limber because I'm taking my title back this year.
Hold on, when's the last time you won the title?
21. I think it's been about 5 years.
Okay, I was just checking. I ain't know.
It's been a 5
I know
year.
I didn't win it last year. I'll give my boy the Manimal his props because he won. He was officially the winner last year. I think it's Manimal 34. Is it the full title? I actually gotta see if he's available. See if he'll jump in with us. Cause I gotta let the man, retain his title.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing we always get is the special teams, but shit, special teams look a little shaky this year. So who the hell gonna be the kicker?
Well, we know who the kicker is. I don't think you cut Jake Moody to bring in somebody else to fight this kid for the kicker job. I think this kid's the kicker until this kid can't be the kicker. But the problem is that you gotta live with his failures. I mean, it almost becomes that moment in Gladiator where like your faults as a son are my failures as a father. I haven't dropped that in a while.
A Gladiator reference. I love it. So until then, that's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy KG. Enjoy your Friday Eve. Enjoy your Friday. We are out of here.